This is the real deal and the real story, right? Of how we get down, what happens, why. This night is bizarre for us on many, many levels.
It felt very much like home Denton stuff from back in the old hooligan days. Shout out to hooligans of Denton, Texas.
What was the reason for being out that night? Was it just a random, because everything's still foggy to me. I don't know what our point was. Was it just a random night? Were we talking about business? What were we doing?
I don't think we had any clear objective. I think it was just the harassment from the staff of the landing strip.
You need to come up and get here or whatever.
Don't be gay, come here, have a drink. Whatever.
We get FaceTimed by the manager and get heckled and whatever.
So we were.
So we go there. The drinking there seemed about normal. I don't think we got too absurd because we haven't rung up like an epic bar tab or anything super stupid lately.
No. We haven't had any fridge hangers as of
where you just put it on display like, look at what we did. Oh, yeah. Right? Like when your dog eats your couch and then you shame him with the "my dog's a dick" tag and, put it on, put posters up around the house or... So I don't know why we were there. We drank. And then the one question throughout the night, just what are you doing later? Do you want to hang out and drink later? Now, mind you, we were asked by two very attractive, very cool chicks, right? Sam, Ariel.
Right.
They decide, hey, you guys want to drink and whatever. So not being presumptuous, but on the off chance we could drink a lot and shenanigans could happen. Or they could not.
Right.
Right? I don't believe, I think Ariel is, she's a weird Rubik's Cube of lady, right? You don't know. I wouldn't even know how that would go down or whatever. But she is attractive. I'd like to. She's neat. I'd like to pet her and whatever. She's a ginger, but a really hot ginger.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So and then Sam is the complete polar opposite, who is dark, tanned, tropical, whatever, like
khaki, whatever
that tan, like I'm tan year round or whatever. So cool, we're hanging out with two, and it was the first time any of them have been back to this house. All right, so they come back to the house. I remember driving back, kind of like everything from when we left the bar got a little hazy. So everything that we're going to reference is from Snapchat because I didn't have any recollection. I woke up with a gigantic question mark.
I remember some of the bits and pieces. It was only when you mentioned that we were here at the Vapor Shop / broadcast studio that it kind of came back and was like, oh yeah, I do remember doing that and search for, just to give you guys a rough timeline of it, we got out of the club at around 3 o'clock in the morning, back to the house by 3:30, set up a beer pong table down in the basement. I have, set up a bar down there, made like 2 drinks, and then all of a sudden we need Dixie cups or solo cups. For the beer pong thing, and then ran out, got those, and then realized we didn't have ping pong balls. So that's why we came up to the shop, because we have a ping pong table at the shop. And what was the timestamp on that?
It was like 6:30 in the morning. Now, mind you, when I woke up with the worst hangover in life, right? I roll over, and this is, so basically if it was done in movie, and Tyler, you're a movie guy, right? So if you were doing a timeline, it would be like leave the bar, drive, and then fading memory. Everything gets foggy, right? So everything gets foggy. Next thing I know, there's bits and pieces. I do flashes of there was beer pong. There was my dog being a dick, right? Because that's what he does. And there were weird little snippets, but not enough to actually make sense out of. And then wake up in your bed, look at your lady friend next to you and go, haha, that's neat. Wow, I wonder if we did anything. I'm really not 100% certain. That's crazy. Oh my God, my head hurts. Why do I feel it felt as if somebody had stabbed me with a fence post through one part of my head and it was coming out of my neck. I've never felt hangover death pain quite that manner before.
And that's why God made breakfast shots, because as soon as I woke up on the couch missing a couple articles of clothing, having no idea, you accused me of stealing the top of the toilet, the little toilet hatch, the upper decker, cap thing. And
who goes to bed and locks your dogs out purposefully because there could have been wrestling or not wrestling? I really can't, say one way or the other. There's pretty strong probability there was some wrestling going on. Not sure how good I was at it, because I think I would have had a hard time peeing at that point, let alone using my member for anything. Yeah, right. So there's no sense there's no telling what I could have possibly done with that level of intoxication. So waking up having everything. So if we hit pause right there, when we talked about it, you went and got breakfast shots because you said, hey, Jake, that'll make you feel better. Hey, right, take this. My question to you was, why the F is the top of the toilet on my dresser? Why
No, the question was, why did you steal the top of the toilet? And we didn't think it was on your dresser at that time.
No, I saw it in my dresser first. Like, as I got up out of my room, I looked and was like, why are there dogs in my room? Right? Because I know I locked them out because there was a lady in there with me, right? Just common courtesy. And I'm ticklish back there. I don't want Scoob's nose getting where somewhere it's supposed not to be. So as I stand up and go, ow, my head hurts, why are there all the dogs in my room? And then why is the top of my toilet there? So in my mind, Travis did this. Of course, because who else would do it but Travis? Not my brother, right? My brother's an upstanding human being. He wouldn't do it. I asked you and you looked at me like, why are you asking me? And I'm like, what do you mean, why am I asking you?
Well, I thought you told me to look for it. I went look. I was like scurrying or bumbling around the house like a pinball trying to find the top of the toilet. I had no idea. I was like, I don't know, maybe I ate it. I have no idea. You say I had it, I guess I had it. I ate the toilet. I don't know. We got to get ourselves a new
I've
one.
seen you pee in a hallway for no apparent reason, like shit in a potted plant. I've seen you do some things. So the fact that you've taken, like, you're like a big house cat. You're like one of those, I'm not really a puma, but I'm not a house cat. I'm that weird hybrid that you're like, the hell is that? Why do you have like a panther walking around your house? And it would like just walk over and crap in a potted plant because it's a goddamn,
Panther.
yeah, it's a panther cat thing or whatever it is, right? So at that point, I as we're talking, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so hungover. What the fuck is happening in my life or whatever? So I grab my phone and I look at Snapchat, right? Because I'm a big fan of Snapchat. As far as I'm concerned, Facebook can F off. I'm over it. It's driving me nuts. I think they're controlling my brain. There's something going on. I talk about this. I like pooping in a potted plant. It'll show up on my timeline in like 2 minutes. They're
Fake
on to me.
poop in potted plants.
Freak out your friends with fake potted poop. Whatever, I don't know. It was a whole lot of peas. So I look through Snapchat and I look and I'm like, because I looked around and I was like, there's no Ariel. Wonder what happened to Ariel. Because I really don't have any
Yeah,
recollection.
she disappeared at some point during the fog.
Come to find out, she passed out in the bathroom, whatever. So she, like, if we were playing Clue, you know, she'd be
the one to blame.
Professor so-and-so with the candlestick, right? Because she was in there last. And maybe she came in and saw Sam and I laying there, let the dogs in, was mad and went, here's your toilet, your commode, or she just brought me to, look at, which button do I push? 1 or 2 for vomit? What is this? I don't know, right?
We do have the house rule of, look, if you do number 1, you push the 1 button. You got
if we find out you're hitting number 2 for 1 or 1 for 2,
that's right.
You're going to get escorted out of the house.
She could have very well brought it. Where's vomit?
Yeah, there's no V button on here.
We got to add in a third toggle now.
No, we really should. Or we'll just put like a little leaflet up there to kind of figure it out. So I look through Snapchat and I start seeing things and I'm like, oh, Sam is mooning out of the side of the car. She's mooning out of the side of the car and you're like at the side of the house. And I was like, when did this happen? Like she's literally has her pants down and mooning you out the window. And I went, that's weird, hey? So I went, that's neat. Go on to the next one. Us beer pong or whatever. And I went, oh, beer pong. Okay, yeah. Then like random other snaps. Then I see the inside of our retail location that was stamped at 6:34 in the morning. And I first went, what were those bitches doing at my store? Like I was like, oh, dude, they stole my keys. Am I gonna go in there? Stuff's gonna be missing. Like what's happening? I hit the thing and freeze it. You hold your thumb on it, burn, it freezes, and I look. I see me in the background, which is kind of friggin' surreal when you're hungover and it feels like you've got a pole stuck through your head, eh? And I'm like, what the? And I'm like, oh, I'm there. What the hell was I doing at my store? And I'm like, oh no. Like, it's okay to like
the
maybe.
The store opened like an hour before we woke up, I think, or something. The store was already.
Oh yeah, the store was already open and running. I was like, oh my God, what could we have possibly done in the store? And then little pieces, like every time a Snapchat came up, little pieces of what we did the night before, like, oh, we were there. We drank a lot. How much did we drink? Like, oh, what? They were laying on the ping pong table. What is... I was like, I hope the ping pong table isn't broken. I was like, oh, Shane's going to be mad at me when he walks in there and sees, like, what kind... Oh, there's no telling what we did. Nobody was paying attention to what Blazer was doing. God dang it, right? Like, so I see this. So we're starting to put the night together. You bring in breakfast shots into my bedroom. Boom, you bring in breakfast shots. We have them, which are awesome, right? Jameson, orange juice, and butter shots.
tastes like waffles. It's the greatest thing when your head's splitting. If you are a subscriber to the hair of the dog, that is the best thing for you. You do it, it tastes like waffles, and your hangover slightly subsides, unless, of course, you walk across the street to the bar and continue.
Oh, and then we get the cry from Sam, I need hummus, right? I need hummus now. And I'm like, okay, pretty lady laying in my bed, you need hummus. The avenue's across the street. I will say in my hungover state, I was really quick with answers. Like, wow, we need this, that. We've Carl's Arabic. He owns the Avenue, right? Great food. Avenue Bistro, Michigan Avenue, corner of Elizabeth and Michigan. So I'm like, dude, you know what? Let's walk across the street. Let's get Sam hummus. Not 100% certain, but she may have let me touch her butt last night. I don't know. If worst case scenario, there was a rollover hug, right?
Right.
I'm gonna go with that.
That deserves some hummus and
something
pita.
that will get you hummus in my world, right? So we get up, hungover, had a couple breakfast shots, and we're giggling because we're still wasted, and we're all talking because we have to walk down the alley 1 block and then across the street 1 block, and we're at the Avenue. So we walk in. You're trying to convince us that we need to drink more, right? As we get there.
I didn't want to fade back into the horrible realm of hangover. I was still crocked when I woke up. I was still difficulty to walk a straight line.
Oh yeah, no, it was.
I just wanted to power on through. I didn't want to cross back over.
It was very similar to the movie Stand By Me, where they're walking down the railroad tracks and they're trying to balance on the rail and like teeter-tottering back and forth. But we were on solid ground, and we're adults. We're not 9, and we just saw a dead body or whatever, right? So it was weird as we're walking, and because in the neighborhood we live in an all Irish neighborhood, living with people that that I've known forever. You know, we've got 3 or 4 Irish families where their parents had houses there, they have houses there. Some of them, their grandparents had houses. So we know like 38 people, right? Standing in front of the house, Ricky Turk drove by. I talked to Turk. G pulls up behind him. I'm like, dude, what is this? This is bizarre. You know, there's like 15 people in the neighborhood that if I go out in the front, I see. So as we're driving down as we're walking or bumbling down the alley, as we're rumble stumbling down the alley, our buddy Matt pulls up.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot Matt.
Yep. See, right? Like, there's still parts that are missing. So he gives me the Jakester, and I went, And he went, you text me about red Solo cups at like 4:30 in the morning, and I went, was that code? And I went, code? What could that be code for? I don't know. Is it code? And I went, oh, I did, didn't I? I go, yeah, we needed Solo cups. He was like, huh. He looked over at Sam and went, oh. He goes, how about next time you call me ahead of time and said, before you're blacked out and, looking for Solo cups. And I was like, Maddie, sorry, wasn't really thinking about you I don't remember much from last night, but thanks for taking the call, right? So we talk, ha. Where are you going? We're going to the Avenue. He was like, hair of the dog, turn left. That was it, right? So we walk across, we sit in, we get hummus for the Sam. Now we walk into a bar at 12 noon on was it a Sunday or Saturday? Sunday?
Saturday, because I called John. John had to call me drunk.
On a Saturday at 12 noon, most people are stopping in, grabbing a burger, maybe a beer, family, let's go to the nice little, American bistro that happens to be a bar. We walk in, schnockered is an understatement. Do you know how much we drank when we were there? We spent $140-some on hummus and shots at 12 noon. When, mind you, we went to bed at 9:30, right? I did a time lapse of everything from the last Snapchat and whatever. So we went to bed at 9:30. We were up at 11:30. Went to the bar, started drinking. I do our favorite, one of the Bachelor Pad favorite movies is Don't Mess with the Zohan, right? Adam Sandler, good man, many, many funnies. We could recite the majority of the movie verbatim, and maybe we'll do that for you one evening. Yes, we forced you Cannoli Lady, we forced you to watch it. You didn't find it nearly as funny as we could, or as we thought you should.
I watched it last night.
Did you rewatch it?
Yeah.
Was it funnier this time? There we go.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah, maybe you're just a little creeped out being in a living room with me, Travis, and Scoob.
I just want to make the world silky smooth.
There we go. The peanut gallery chimes in. So, at one point, as hummus, right? We're talking about hummus. We're in about 4 or 5 shots. I profess I am wasted again, or even more than I was. F my life. What is happening
It's
with
noon.
what am I doing with my freedom, right? So somebody said hummus one too many times. You made a Zohan reference. So at the point when the dad, he mixes the hummus in the coffee, he does whatever. He takes his glasses, folds one side, and sticks the hummus in there and continues the conversation while eating hummus.
Spooning the hummus with the glasses.
Yeah, so I take the glasses off, I stick them in with the hummus, boom, flip it in the mouth, I begin to eat the hummus. You almost fall off your bar stool laughing and dying or whatever, right?
That made me happy.
So we realize at some point that we're really, really wasted. We should probably go. Mike, the manager from the club, FaceTimes me, which he always does. And I'm holding it up so he sees all of us stumbling, walking, whatever. And he's like, hey, where you guys at? How you guys feeling from last night? I was like, I have no idea, Mike.
We're in Canada. Can you send someone to get
We're in
us?
Canada. I have no idea how the F we got here. I don't know if we're coming back. Canada, oh, Canada. Mind you, we're walking down Michigan Avenue, stumbling, have to be a spectacle. We only had like 120 of like road frontage that we had to walk before we turned and go in the alley, but it had to have been comical one way or another that we looked at it. So we tell him this, and then I just hang up on him. So as far as Mike knows, we're really in Canada, right? We just, screw you, Mike, we're in Canada. Sam's not coming to work. Not coming to work, Mike. I'm in Canada. And then hang up, right? So that was good. So as we turn down the alley, here comes an ice cream truck.
That was on the way out. We're
out. We're already out of the bar.
That's
We're out of the bar. We were only there for like 35 minutes, an hour that we actually drank inside the joint. So as we get out and we're this and that, we cross the street. We're so wasted that an ice cream truck pulls up. I immediately look at it and go, that looks like the ice cream truck from Shameless. The one that they sold
You say
weed out
pulls
of.
up, they broke down.
Oh yeah, actually they were at a slow roll, and ironically, the guy was driving in a Shameless and all of Shameless fashion. The guy's driving, and the pretty girlfriend is pushing the ice cream truck.
Yeah.
So I start screaming, "Are you the ice cream truck from Shameless? Do you sell the weeds? Ha ha ha!"
I believe your expression was, Blazer, go push the Shameless truck.
They'll probably smoke weed with you. It's the Shameless ice cream mobile. So you just went, screw
Kicked
it.
off the flip-flops, barefooted, pushed that big...
Sam
big
falls
bag.
over in the grass and starts to make snow angels in the grass, and I'm wasted. Actually, he said some other things, but
FCC,
witness protection, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So as you're pushing it, right, and I'm laughing, I'm just like, what is happening? I think I Snapchatted or something.
And I've got to admit, I pushed that thing like a mighty lineman. I made good time with that, up the hill and everything.
No, you did excellent. And then the guy gets out and goes, hey,
You smoke?
you want to smoke some weed? And I went, I knew it. I'm a good judge of character and ice cream trucks. And there could have been a million ice cream trucks we could have encountered. You are the one that sells the weed or smokes the weed. Or maybe that's a job for super stoners where you just go, you know what?
I'm going to drive an ice
I'm
cream
going to drive an ice cream truck. I like ice cream. I like that little tune it's playing. And I could probably pedal the weeds, right? Or I could just smoke the weeds and feel good about
Pedal
the
the
life
ice
that
cream, right.
I make people when they're hot and sweaty, they get ice cream. I don't know.
Right.
Or cannoli. So, hot dog down the hallway. So what was it? So we do that. We giggle. We laugh. We walk back to the house. And this is where it gets creepy for me because I do have a little bit of memory from this point. So as we get to the house, we walk in. We're wasted again, like horribly wasted. So as we get in the house, Sam grabs my hand, and almost as the house was tilted, like we're walking downhill. This is how, I don't know if you've ever been that intoxicated as you're walking down, like just falling frontwards. I don't know why my feet are not holding me up. Walk all the way down. She's like, grabs my, I figure, right? And this is where Jake is a bit naive on occasion, where I just blah, 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 fall into my bed, right? Lay in the bed. Now, we did wrestle at that point, right? We did wrestle. And if it's any indication of how the wrestling happened 8 hours or 5 hours earlier, it was not pretty on my behalf, right? It was not. I know I was very passionate and petting and whatever. Still fairly certain the pee-pee was good for nothing, not even urinating, right? I should have had a catheter at that point, right? It was literally like slinky dink or whatever, like slinky. Horrible. Should have never attempted it. Actually, I wouldn't have attempted it. I would have been happy to lay there and just sleep.
These future episodes will be brought to you by Viagra.
Not just a little blue diamond. Yeah, no,
It's a lifesaver. Don't get 2 chances at a first impression.
that's right. I probably would have died of that. I would.
Just had a heart attack.
Yeah.
And this is it. This is how I always knew it was going to
Absolutely
end.
nothing. Well, then, in that time frame, my sister came to the house, right? So I guess my sister was there with Roxy.
She had to pick up Brett
She had to
because
pick
my
up Brett.
Uber malfunctioned and charged me $286 to try and send your brother to the airport.
So, yeah, so that's a normal night. Now, mind you, after that, it was, oh my God, and there was like 3 hours of attempted shenanigans, which I'm fairly certain, from what I do recall, not a whole lot of shenanigans. There may have been like 5 minutes of shenanigans and then wonk, wonk, wonk.
You may want to shave it. It looks like it's suffocating.
And then 3 or 4 shenanigans, it just lays there. It does nothing. Help. So that happened. Kind of creepy that my sister and my brother and whatever, and I'm in a drunken stupor, probably licking a girl's face and trying to make sticky, you know. So that was weird. Finally, hey, I gotta get up. I'm gonna get in trouble if I'm late. If you go with me, we won't get in trouble. And I went, that's a great theory, but I shouldn't drive. I can barely walk. You saw my penis doesn't work 100% after drinking for 12 to 14 straight hours, right? I think I have to pee. Wouldn't know. Nothing's coming in or
It
out.
lays down in there all day.
Something may be stuck in there, like a bead from a necklace, like one of those little necklace string beads. There might be something stuck in there. I don't know. Yeah, there's
Got a rebellious fetus. He's got a gold tooth in there now, blocking the flow. You know.
yeah. I don't know what was happening, but I can neither confirm or deny. I just doesn't seem like it was pretty, right? So then I called Doug, right? Who will maybe not. It'll probably be the episode that follows this, where we talk about Doug's birthday. We go up just to have the one.
Which was last night. It was,
Yeah.
today's
Which we're doing
today's
this-
hangover is brought to you by Doug's birthday.
By Doug's birthday, and Bree biting me like a baby piranha, another chick friend, gay. So that's a typical bizarre evening of blackout.